Hello, this is Priscilla Batzell. I'm in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Fluid Art Studio. That's a 12-inch by 24-inch canvas. That's some Artist Loft white paint with Floetrol and GAC 800 in it. I just want to add moisture to the top layer of my landscape area, basically my sky, so I can add some more paint on top of that and spread it around and maybe make some interesting sky patterns. We'll see. Hopefully without much of anything in the way. I'm thinking about using my spatula that I put my cell activator on to put the paint colors on and spreading them that way. I think first I want to spread it down a little further and hope it doesn't dry. It's autumn right now, so for whatever reason the air conditioning doesn't run as much and my paintings didn't dry overnight yesterday, so I'm thinking that maybe I've got a shot at paint not drying too quickly, but who knows. I see something in there that does not belong and it needs to come out. My tweezers are on my Amazon link. The sharp ones are the best. I'm not going to waste any paint. I am going to take a second and dampen my studio rags, which I forgot, so I can wipe off my spatula. And unfortunately, I've also got a paper towel handy because I'm probably going to want that again in a minute. So we've got stage one done, and I'm going to use some of my Amsterdam white that's thicker, a much thicker consistency. And I have no idea how this is going to work, but we're going to try it anyway. So I'm going to use my longest spatula and grab my Amsterdam white that has Australian Floetrol in it. And it's open, yay. Check my edge, left edge. I'm not going to put it too close to the edge because I'm going to add some other colors to it. I don't care if I get cells or not, honestly. I do care that that's not open though. Hang on. That is the Frostbite, which is basically going to help everything else move around. So that's going right on top of my cell activator because I want it to mix. This is Frosted Berry. I'm not going to put that everywhere, just a little bit. And since I'm going for this, I'm going to put some Periwinkle in, which is a Vivid Intense. The other two were Prizm pores, and you'll find them right underneath. I keep forgetting how hard this one is to squeeze out, and I don't know why. I keep saying it and not fixing it. Come on. Well, there must be something in that tip. Never mind. I've got some Red Violet, another Vivid Intense. I'll just use a little bit of that. And maybe it'll be even prettier. I also had some Black Iris, but I think I'm going to wait on that. I wasn't sure how that was going to start. I think I'm going to just add some color to my sky. Spatula it into place. I'm going to use the Frostbite because I'd like some blue. Maybe turn it around from the other direction. Thinking my OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula from Good Grips would probably be even better, because this is not making me super happy, although it's only a sky, so why should I care really, unless I was going for something really super dramatic. It's got some interesting shapes in it, I can see. Well, it's a good time to experiment, I guess. So I'm just going to wipe that off for the moment. and grab a spatula. I'm just going to use some black iris. I want to find out what's keeping that periwinkle from distributing itself easily, and I'm just going to take the top right off. I'll figure it out eventually. Let's put everything in here. That's the red violet again. This is the frosted berry. And the frostbite. Now, just for grins, I'm going to use some white cell activator again. No, I have no idea what I'm doing. I usually get lucky, but I'm not sure I'm getting lucky this time. Especially not if I drag my finger through that. I'm going to take my extra paint and put it over the edge. Ooh, not on my foot, please. It's the only problem with sandals in Florida. If you're painting, you're going to have painted feet. Could use a balloon roll some cloud shapes in there, but I kind of like what I just did, with the exception of that lump in there that I would like to have removed, and its companion. Wait, and if there's another one, do it now while I'm still doing this. Yeah, I don't care that there's no cells. And I'm going to drag that paint right down and expose any colors I have hidden inside of it. Just continue to let the colors mix. And they're pretty subtle, but they're nice. If I had a dish of colors, I'd probably want to dip my balloon in. Not even sure about the balloon, but maybe while it's still wet, we'll give it a shot. Pretty sure I got one handy here. Got enough paint on the surface. With GAC 800 in it, it dries without crazing. But we've got enough paint on the surface so that I can actually play with texture right now, which is kind of cool. I can also dab my edges with my excess rather than wiping it off, which I prefer. Okay, I kind of like that. I more than kind of like that. And I'm going to let it go down to the horizon line. I don't want to destroy anything I really love, but I do want to drag it down. And hoping, against hope, that I can make what I want to have happen. I'm trying to put some dimension in the clouds. Right now, I just want to see that I'm covered across the top. And I seem to be fairly well covered. And if I wasn't, I am now. Yeah, I love that sky. Just going to take the rest of my paint, put it right in at the horizon line, right off my spatula before I wipe my spatula off. I found one uncovered edge, but it's not anymore. I'm going to wipe off my balloon so I can use it again because I've been savoring it for years, literally. I'm going to get rid of this spatula and hopefully get something I desire. And I'm not sure how to go about this, but I'm going to start with the puddle of Amsterdam across the horizon line, and I'm going to try and squish it into place. I think there might be some tilting going on, but I'm a little nervous about the sky. I need to get a couple of these sky colors out of my way so I have room to work. And what have I got left? I've got green tea. I've got some horrible gold cell activator that's gone to a very liquidous state. That's the green tea. I'm thinking I may be able to go back and fill in. It's almost out, so I'm sort of tipping it to be able to get it to go to the tip without the marble falling in. This is, the green tea was a primary element. This is wintergreen. Similar but not the same, and I'm not minding burying that because it's not my favorite color to use. I've got a peacock I just rediscovered, which is a little on the turquoise side, and it needs to be shaken, and I forget that every time because I started adding a little distilled water. That sky is compelling. Alright, let's hope that my original idea of Fandango, which is next, another Prizm pour, same as Peacock, same as Wintergreen. I've never done it like this, so I'm a little tripping. This is triple sec. I think it's a Prizm pour. I'm going to put plenty of paint on so I have stuff to move. I'm going to use some deep amethyst. Oh, it's nice that didn't have any liquid in it. Yay. A little black raspberry, which I know I should shake. I still have to figure out what cell activator I'm using, and I think it's going to be black. This is Seaglass. This is a primary element. And I'm hoping some of these colors are just going to mix. I'm going to throw in a little bit of my primary element Golden Maple. That's a Bling It. Well, I will if I can get it to be open. Maybe the tweezers will help. I just can't check every bottle before I start, but I should check the ones I'm sure I'm going to use, and this was something I should have checked. But I am going to push those tweezers right into the tip of the bottle and pull out the clot. And now I believe that we're going to be able to get paint out. Come on. Don't be stubborn. It's being very stubborn. There, I got it. Yay. I can't wait to torch that top. Okay, whatever's in there is still dogging me. Just going to use a bunch of that. I'm being called to some blue and I don't have any out. So Midnight Shadow. I was going to use some black iris. Maybe that's a better idea, because it's less going to look like water. Just going to try and cover up the white. I could tip that. So I'm going to take a shorter spatula and start from, I guess, the middle. I don't know what I'm doing. Where's my black cell activator? That is not something I should hide on myself. There it is. This is Australian Floetrol and Amsterdam Black. Everything seems to have wanted to plug itself up. Make sure that paint chip is not... I want to put some white in there too. Don't ask me why. Maybe because I've been doing a bunch of that. And I have some of that gold that I said was bad. It's a good thing I didn't try and pour it because the top wasn't screwed on. I'm trying to get the cap off between my knees. It's way too liquid. Alright, that's a start. And I'm not afraid to pull down over. I am wanting to get that cat hair off the end. Maybe it's a sweater fuzz. Whatever it is, it doesn't belong there. I kind of think I should have used a smaller spatula this time, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Alright, that's 18 minutes in. I got 1 minute, and I'm going to stop the camera and come back. And then just use my extra. Follow that problem I put in the sky. Smooth that over there. Use my excess on the edge. And come right back. I'll see you in a second. Like almost literally. No time at all. Okay, and to continue on, I like the big white negative spot. It looks like a reflection of the sky, like it's a big lake, but we've got paint to move, so that's what's going to happen instead. But bears remembering for another time. So, now, do I want the same spatula or do I want to use my smaller one? I kind of want to try my smaller one. Let's get the rest of that paint off of there. Throw it in the bucket. I want to try some of the golden maple with the black. I actually want to try some of the purple. You know what? I've got some Boom Gel Pearlescent Violet, and I want to try it in combination. I love these colors. And I'm going to just keep scraping off my excess because I get to use it to move other paint. And then I might use an edge catcher. I'm thinking I'm going to risk it, and I will tip. Maybe I'll tip up a little bit and then I'll tip back. But I'm thinking that I'm willing to leave some of that green along the horizon line that I really like. I'm going to try some more of this very cautiously placed gold cell activator. Which, if it doesn't do anything else except for add a little gold, that's really not a bad thing. Looks like I can get away with one more swipe and then I better tip if I'm going to do that. I'm not sure that this is wide enough. And I do have a whole selection of spatulas, and I think this one will work just perfectly. I'm going to combine a little white, very little. Black with it. I don't think I need the full blade. You know what? I'm going to do what I said I was going to do and use some of the Bling It. I kind of wish I could use, whoop, stuck my hand right in it. I don't want to lose this stuff on the right. So I'm going to take a chance on losing my cells. And I've got something up there that I want to cover. It's just sort of a gap. I'll let it tip up while I clean off my spatula. I have an edge catcher handy. I have to tend to that periwinkle. It's not really long enough, is it? Well, maybe I won't need it. Let's torch the sky and see if some of these things are things or bubbles first. Good, they were bubbles. Now, I'm thinking, I'm going to let everything flow up a little bit. And then flow down a little bit. And I remember now that I've got a stretcher bar across the back. Maybe if I put it kitty corner. I love that. Sky was a lot of fun to do. Oh, we're having all kinds of things drip too far down, but maybe they'll make funky looking trees. That's the impression I'm getting. I think I'm just going to let everything flow over and down. I have some gray area down here. I don't think it would hurt anything. If I had some paint on my edge catcher, I would salvage it and put it across the bottom. I might use my straw too. I might do that sooner than later. Yeah, it's really cool. I try not to judge where things are too quickly because sometimes they look better than I think they do. Usually if I had some preconceived notion of what I thought I was going to like, and now I have something different. I really could put a little more green right in there. I could put a river in there too. Now I got rid of my smallest spatula, so maybe I can use a palette knife. That sounds like a good idea. Don't mind adding some funky shapes. Wipe that off. Add in some horizontal lines just to make it look like there's maybe the odd plateau in this obviously mountainous terrain. And And then I'm going to have to do something about covering my bottom. But otherwise, I think that that's pretty cool. I've got a nice spot in here if I want to put a sun in. I'm thinking I might come back tomorrow and add some more pink to the sky. I think that has to go. Fortunately, I have a second set of tweezers. Not a good idea to try and remove things after you've torched, generally speaking. But I think I can also steal a little paint. Sometimes you can blow on things, smooth them out. Also, there's a certain amount of settling down that'll happen. Alright, so whatever's happening next is going to be either another stage or I'm done, and I'm not sure which one it is. I'm going to grab a little bit of that paint. Fill in that spot that I see. That looks like, I'm not sure what it looks like. It looked like it was void of paint. Alright, I'll see you guys in a second. More than likely. We'll zoom in first. I'm not sure about that right there. I might want to do something to that too. See you in a sec. Okay, so this is the next day and this is dry. I've got a dish and a skewer, and I'm going to use some shiny taffeta, which is a prism pour. And I'm going to try and put a moon in the sky. If I don't like it, I'm going to wipe it out. I'm going to use the dull end of the skewer. I don't think it needs to be very big. I probably already used too much paint. I think I like it really small. So I'm just going to use that paint as a base. And put some colors for some trees in there. But first, I'm going to use the Primary Element Chestnut Brown. And maybe make some trunks for things that already look like trees to me. Along with the Chestnut Brown, I think I'm going to put a little tiny bit of Burnished Copper in there, which is a Vivid Intense. It's kind of, it doesn't dry the same buff color that it is. I want to put a dot of black in there too, just so I have something to choose from. That's just Mead and Black. Alright, what did I see here? I saw this shape here reminded me. I'm going to need something around the edge. That reminded me of a tree. So if I just take the marks, they're already there. Not sure I like that Burnished Copper in there, but I don't mind the brown, the chestnut brown. So those are just my adding a few branches. And I might wind up adding some green, which might be the way to go right now. So what's my green? My green is yellow green, and it is a Vivid Intense. And I'm going to use the small end of my skewer. Actually, it's the large end. I'm going to try the small end. I'm kind of wishing I had started with small end, but it doesn't matter. So long as I'm adding definition to that edge of the tree. Kind of want a dot in there. I wish I had a little absorbent thing on a oh, I do. You know what? Q-tips work wonderfully well. Not only that, I've got Q-tips with paint on them that might work even better than what I'm thinking. Just to sort of smear that around and make it less defined. and more like highlighted leaves. And that makes me happy. Okay, so where else did I see? I think, I think I want to do something over here to make that look more like a tree. If that can even be, if that's possible. So just lead my branches up there. It's a surreal tree. Take a little more of that green. Just move it around so that it looks like I'm leaving branches behind. That's more like a tree. What I did yesterday was take the tweezers with the, there was a little line of black, and I just gently dragged the tweezers up to make that sort of zigzag pattern. Now I'm going to use some saffron Prizm pour. That might be probably already way too much. And a little golden quinacridone nickel azo gold. If it'll come out at all. Yes, please. Some. That needs to be cleaned out totally. I got a little sour lemon with orange crush in it. Let's go for a little orange crush. I've got some aspen somewhere here. I've got aspen leaf. It's a primary element. I haven't used it a lot, but this is the perfect season to try it. And I want one more green. And I've got some green tea draining down toward its opening, so I think that's perfect. I might want a little more of the yellow-green in a second. Actually, yellow is something I wanted, but I guess I can use what I've got now. So I've got a small balloon. If I didn't hide it on myself. I had, there we go. And I'm going to put in some trees. Actually, you know what? Before I even do that, I kind of want to take a little more of my, my brown mixture, brown and black, and see if I can make this into a tree. Because it looks like a tree to me. Kind of like a Dr. Seuss tree, but still a tree. Maybe make it a little longer still. Yeah, that way it works out better. So it's hanging off the edge of whatever that curvy thing is. I kind of want to put a swipe in there to cover up some of that, but maybe I'll just continue on. Maybe I'll put some trees in there. Let's try that. That doesn't look too bad. I'm going to have to put some trunks in after. But they'll look like they're traveling up the mountainside, I think. Oh yeah, no, that adds a lot in my opinion. So I'm going to do something similar over here. You don't even need the trunks as much as I thought you might, because the colorfulness of the foliage sort of takes care of that, a little bit anyway. And it sort of makes the green sing. I'm liking this. And anywhere I want to add some dimensionality to things, that's another thing that looked like a tree to me. Wait, I can fix that, I think. Maybe I should put some color in there so it looks like it's just changing. So not everything is perfect. That big black mark is a little confusing to me. I'm not sure what to do about that. Maybe put some trees, some really big trees back there. And the smaller the dots, the further away the trees are. And I've already got some weird trunky shapes over here, so that's kind of perfect. I thought they were going to look like evergreens, but if they look like trunks, so be it. Near and far. Oh, I'm liking that so much. It is what it is. And I can meld some of them and cover up some of the spots that are seeming weird to me. Otherwise, I'm pretty close to being done. Kind of wish I'd used a little more yellow. But that's awesome. I'm definitely going to continue on here. And maybe, since I've got the green, use it to camouflage that strange shape that my imagination is not forming a plan. So we'll just blend it right in maybe. Make it disappear. And I did. And I'm happier. I'm going to do it with the other one too. After all, who's going to know if I don't tell them? And anywhere else I want. No, I really like that. Pumpkins in the hills. I'm going to put a little more black in my trunk mixture. And then just go in with the sharp end of the skewer. And maybe try the dull end of the skewer too. Start the dull end at the bottom because it's wider. I could probably add more details. Wipe the green off. I like the idea of leading a few branches up into the foliage. It makes them look a lot more realistic to me. That needs some more orange in there. Where's my little... I try and keep this thing going by keeping it rinsed off. But I don't always succeed. Sometimes they're a little fatter than they need to be. But mostly they're here to give the impression of trees. Not so much a perfect rendering. I'm just dotting down below. Those ones don't need it as much. These would probably benefit. Figure if I put a dot of paint down, then I can use the sharp end if I'm careful. Should always be careful using the sharp end. And I can use the dull end of the skewer if I want to go back and add even more trees all the way up the mountainside. Just little tiny dots of color. Although my paint seems to be not as thick as it needs to be to... Yeah, I'm having a really good time doing this. Just want to use up the paint that I've got. And I did pretty well. Maybe a few more up here behind that tree. I used to live in Maine, out in the country, and I saw a lot of color out there, and it's nice to see it again. I'm not going to overwork the trees that are surreal. I don't really see the point. And she added more branches. That one just didn't look real enough to me. Alright, that I'm going to say is that. It's got a little moon. I love how the sky turned out. I'm going to say I love you guys. I know I told you everything at the end of the other section. Or I think I did anyway. But I'm going to take a second as soon as it gives me my flashlight and say that was fun. I might go back in with the color with the aspen leaf and just add a little bit more definition to the orange spots. But I'm really happy with how that turned out. I could have added more color to the sky, but I think the landscape is colorful enough, and I like the contrast between the two very much. I love you guys. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now. I think I told you everything at the end of the last video, but if I didn't tell you to give me a thumbs up, I'd really like one. And your comments do keep my morale boosted. And my Amazon link is a great place to shop, and that's where my 2 books, Because I Can and Unlimited Possibilities, are. And thank you. Thank you to everyone who donates to help me buy canvases and keep me at YouTube, because otherwise I don't think I'd be here. The memberships are $9.99 a month, and there's over 200 library videos for the members only. And thank you guys for asking questions. Please keep right on doing so. I do sell my artwork, and I give classes at the house in Spring Hill, Florida, and I should probably tell you, checking the community board will tell you what tomorrow's video will bring, and it's probably at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I'm not 100% sure of that. I give lessons at the house in Spring Hill, Florida, and I do sell my artwork, and I'd like to sell my artwork. It would keep me here. So, take care of each other, take care of yourselves. Bye for now. Know I love you, and you inspire me always. I know I'm holding my phone in my hand, but I'm not moving it. But there is some shine in there, some shimmer and shine, and it's just a beautiful piece. So, bye for now. Priscilla out. I'll see you anon.